Hey everybody, Koricon Nala here, and we're going to be going through the walkthrough of how to solve and the answers for the Loot Crate Secret Order of Keys of April 2017 called Investigate. Now, I don't have the free loot that we got for solving last month, so you can check out that video if you want. But we got an email from Loot Crate saying that they were overwhelmed with solutions and ran out of the item that they were giving for free. And they're going to be making more and sending them out as a separate package in May. I just have not gotten mine yet. Some of you may have gotten yours. And let me know what you got in the comments below. I'm interested to find out. I'm not going to be unboxing it, but I will be showing it in next month's answer video. Our first puzzle is going to be Coffee Caper. And as you can see in the instructions, we're going to take this from our insert and we're going to use the letters here and our Batman mug, which is heat sensitive, so if you put hot liquid in there, it'll bring up a bat signal and all kinds of stuff around the city, which is really cool. But we're going to use these buildings, as you can see, and roll the mug on here to find our letters so that we can figure out what the words are going to be. Now you can see here on this, over here is a mug handle. So the mug handle will go right there, and that is your starting point. And we're also going to keep the open of the mug up. And then we roll it this way. Now when we do that, you're going to come up with a picture like this. Now I just took pictures of the mug and cropped it out so I could put it on there to show you how it would look as it rolls. And the tops of the buildings are going to cover certain letters. Now as you can see on here, the letters are in groups of 2. So it's going to land on a group of 2 letters, and those are the letters that you're going to use. And this is when I'm going to get into the solution, so I will show you what the answer is going to be. But if you do not want to know that, go ahead and skip ahead to the next one. So without further ado, here is our answers. We're going to move this down a little bit so you can see the letters that were covered. And it says it's TH and EM, AN, WH, OL, AU, GH, and S with a period. That's a character as well. So it's the man who laughs. And I also took pictures of the mug rolling so you can see that the city or the building covers those 2 letters every time you're rolling it, and that's what you're going to choose. So the man who laughs. Thought that was interesting. The reason I thought it was interesting was because The Man Who Laughs was a silent film from 1928 that was the inspiration for the Joker. So it makes sense that they would use The Man Who Laughs. And you can see that's a still from the movie. That's the poster, obviously. But you can see he looks so much like the Joker, and it's easy to tell why they used him as the inspiration for that character. But I thought it was a cool little tidbit of information that I would pass on to you guys that didn't know. I always found that interesting. So, The Man Who Laughs, we type that in and we get our first Investigate Challenge solution. That's 1 of 6. Our second puzzle is Date Data, and this one is using our Jessica Jones figurine, which I really like. It's going to go on that shelf right about there when I'm done. And we're going to use our insert of the clock with the date schedule and the printout PDF of the arrows on the letters. And what you're going to do is you're going to place Jessica Jones on the clock, and wherever the pipe is, we're going to pick the number of where the bricks are falling. So if the pipe is on an 8, then we use 6. Then we use that data on our paper to show, like for this instance, it would be T. Then you follow the line around and it points at R. So basically, wherever the pipe is, the number is 2 off. And so instead of putting Jessica Jones on the clock for every letter that's in our, or every number that's in our date schedule right there, you can see our date schedule or time schedule, I just made a key. So if it's 1 o'clock, R points to F. If it's 2 o'clock, D points to N. I blocked out the answers because we're not at the solution yet. And then you put the letters in for the time. So 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock on April 1st, that would be T, which moves to S. So it would be S for that one. Now this is where I'm going to get into the solution. So if you do not want to know the answer so you can figure it out for yourself, go ahead and click forward a little bit. But here is the answer. You've been warned. Short, fused gumshoe, which makes totally sense. She is a short, fused, obviously she's kicking the bricks, and if you've seen the show, and she's a gumshoe, she's a private detective, so it makes sense. Then when we type it all in, you get the solution. Investigate challenge solution, yay! For our third puzzle, graphite cryptogram, we are going to need our X-file pencils, and cover up the answer here. And we're going to use this part of our insert page. Now what it's going to look like is that, those are our pencils. So you've got the words on the pencils, like the truth is out there, I want to believe, trust no one, that's why they put the I in FBI. Now you can see the 4 parts where the letters go, and to tell which word to put in there, what I did is I started with the longest one, that's why they put the I in FBI, and I put it on the 3rd row down because that had the farthest away letter, which is the finish mark. So I put that one there, and then I put the second longest, the truth is out there, on the 4th line because it goes through a letter that's farther out, last farthest out, second to last. And then I want to believe in the 1st column and trust no one in the second, or 1st row, and then the 2nd row. So I just made sure the length of it matched with where the letters were going to be chosen. Now this does not show the answer, but when you put them all in there it looks like this, and then you have to follow the map through. But one of the things you have to remember is the X in X-Files. The line goes through that, so you need to make sure that you mark down X, otherwise your answer will be 1 letter off. And this is where I'm going to get into spoilers, so if you do not want to know the answer, click forward and we will go with the next one. But here is the answer, you've been warned. Extraterrestrial tension. So if you didn't go through the X, it would say extraterrestrial tension. But once you put that in, we get our answer, the investigate challenge solution. Now we've got 3 out of 6. Woo! Our 4th puzzle is brick logic. You can see our instructions here. We needed to assemble our box, our little case box, which is cool looking, I like that. And the back of the pamphlet, which has the brick with the 3 numbers on it, you can see that. And then the printout, which I'm not going to show you because I wrote the answer on it, but you'll need those 3 items. And once you have those items, you're going to be looking at this part right here, the DNA scale. You're going to need to know those black lines. So once you have those black lines, now what you're going to do on this one is, if you look at our little picture of the bricks, they have the letter 2, 11, and 20. And what that's referencing is the number of the brick if you're going from left to right starting at the top. So I drew out on my little printout the lines from the bricks and then numbered them 1 through 25. And don't forget 19 is that little teeny broken off part of the brick, just so that you're not one number off in the last part. And then you associate the numbers to the letters. A, I, B, L, T, and you're going to be using these numbers right there. So you can see the numbers on the little DNA thing to get those letters, and then you'll use that black line scale and mark them on the PDF that you print out, so that you know which number out of the 2 on here that you're going to be using. So you can see like that first one is 25. Once you have your numbers down, then you have to figure out which letter it's associated to. So this is where I'll get into the solution. If you don't want to know it, skip forward. You've been warned. Here's our solution. Quarantine Killgrave. It was a pretty straightforward puzzle. It was more of, just figuring out the cryptogram. It wasn't very, wasn't hard to do. It was more just labor intensive, but it was fun. I enjoyed drawing out the bricks and putting the letters and everything in. It was fun to do. I just didn't think it was particularly difficult. But once we figured out our answer, then we type it on in, and there we go. We did the investigate challenge. Get our little brick icon, and that's 4 out of 6. Yay! Our 5th challenge, the toe tag confidential. We've got to print out the FBI cipher and the encoded case reference, but we're going to use our pamphlet with the evidence numbers there. You see those? And on our box, you're going to see the evidence tag on this side and the evidence tag on this side. Now once you have those, I put them together there. You can see that there's 6 lines and they have 2 of the numbers on each location, and then you put them together. Once you have them together, you're going to use this cipher, and the cipher states a ROT3 or a ROT13 cipher replaces each letter 13 characters down. So ROT 1, 2, 3, A would be B, B would be D, and C would be F. So our toe tags have 238402, and we're going to take the letters. I'm not going to show you my printout because I have the answer on it, but you take those letters and then you put the numbers on top of them, and then for the first letter you go 2 letters down, and then the second letter you go 3 letters down, and 8 letters down, 4 letters down, and so on. Now what I did to make this a little easier, and I'm going to cover up the answer here because I wrote it out, but I basically wrote out the alphabet in a column line, and that way I could just easily count down, so I'm not going P, A, M, N, O, P, Q, R, like I'm not trying to do it in my head. And I can just find the letter and count down, and I was making sure that I was correct. But this is where I will get into the answers, so if you do not want to know the answer, skip forward a bit. And here we go. Reticulin abductee. And then once we put it in our thing, we get the solution. And a reticulin means gray or gray alien. So basically we were abducted by a gray alien. Makes sense. And that's 5 out of 6. Woohoo! Now for our 6th and final puzzle, we've got Stranger Squad, and we're going to be using our t-shirt. Now the reason I'm not wearing the t-shirt is I'm a little disappointed in this month's Loot Crate, because the shirt, even though it has the size I ordered, is still too small. Now it has not happened like that in the past. Previous shirts have, when they say it's that size, they fit that size. This one does not. I'm wondering if it was made by a different manufacturer. That's possible because some manufacturers use different scales for their sizes than others. So I would suggest not using this manufacturer again, because the size that they state on it is too small. Now, I'm a big guy and I use a 3XL, which is the biggest one that Loot Crate offers. So unfortunately I couldn't go up a size. And even though I really like the shirt, I can't wear it because it looks like I'm wearing a diver's suit. It's just sucked onto my body. And I'm not wearing that in public. So I like the shirt, but I do not like the manufacturer of it. I think they did a bad job with that. So I'm disappointed. But anyway, to solve the puzzle, we're going to take this, which is our printout. And you can see the lines, and we're going to overlay that onto the t-shirt. So what I did to make it easier is I removed all of the black and yellow, at least as much of it as I could, so I could leave the orange lines. And when I did that, I got this. I'm using the Koricon just so that it highlights and you can see it. But once I had that, then I overlaid it and placed it on my t-shirt, like so. Now you have the numbers associated to it, and they point to the characters. So you need to take this paper that has the list of our character names, and you're going to find out who is who on the list. So we got Mike Weller is in the top one right there, and the arrows point to him. Now what I did was I chose, or for each character I put the numbers that were associated to them, and for the Demogorgon you need to put a 1 there because he has a 1 right there in the middle, and some people miss that. So once we have our numbers and associated to our characters there, then we're going to go in order of his fingers, starting from reading it from the left to the right. His right hand pinky is going to be 1, and his left hand pinky will be number 10. Each pinky has the lines each finger has the lines coming off of it, so that first pinky has got 2 and 6. Now we're going to take the 2 and 6 and see who they're associated to. So the first one is associated to Dustin, and we're going to take the second letter in his name, which is a U, and I'm going to cover up some of this, but I basically numbered out 1 through 10, and you have 2 letters for most of them. Fingers 7 and 10 only have 1 letter associated to them, but you just go through and figure out what the letters are, and it spells your word. So if you do not want to know the answer, skip forward a little bit, but we are going to get into the solution now. So our solution is upside down portal, and there we go. We solved all 6 of them, so it makes sense. If you look at the t-shirt, looks like the upside down portal. Yay! We solved all 6 puzzles! Hooray! So I hope this helped out some of you guys. If you wanted a little bit of help on how to solve these, and if you just wanted the answers, I hope this helped as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. But thank you guys for watching. I'm glad that we solved it. We will get our extra loot. Hopefully they make a lot more of them this time, so we get them in our box next month, but we will still be getting last month's in May as a separate package, and I'll be showing you both of them on next month's video when we solve all of those puzzles. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Give me some comments on what you think about this video, and I will see you on the next video.